You know, when most of us think about scuba diving, we think about exploring a totally different world. But what if diving could also mean escaping the physical limits of your own world? That's what we're talking about today, the absolutely incredible possibility of adaptive diving for people with severe spinal cord injuries. It's a place where meticulous planning and teamwork make the impossible, well, possible.
And that powerful idea really comes to us from the work of Dr. Mark Downs, a diving physician. And this quote, it just perfectly captures the paradox we're going to unpack. You have this devastating injury, but at the same time an activity that offers this unparalleled freedom. So, how is that even possible?
Okay, so here's the core of it, right? It's all about this incredible transformation. On land, the reality for someone with a spinal cord injury is often defined by things like gravity, wheelchairs, paralysis. But the moment you get underwater, that entire reality just shifts. The water creates this state of near-perfect weightlessness, and with it comes a profound sense of freedom and movement, things that might have been lost for years. It's so much more than a sport. For many, it's like returning to a world without physical chains.
But, and this is a big but, achieving this kind of freedom is anything but simple. It means you have to confront a whole host of hidden dangers, things that go way beyond the visible paralysis. To make diving possible, you first have to understand what makes it so incredibly risky.
So, let's just take a quick step back for a reality check. These injuries, they often happen in the course of everyday life. As you can see from the data, road accidents and falls are by far the leading causes. And why does this matter? Well, it just reminds us that the people seeking this underwater freedom are dealing with the consequences of some very real and often very sudden trauma.
All right, to really get a handle on the risks, we have to zero in on the single greatest danger. Now, for divers who have injuries in their mid-back or higher, we're talking above the T6 vertebra, there is a silent, sudden, and potentially fatal condition that the entire dive team has to be ready for at a moment's notice.
And that threat has a name: autonomic dysreflexia, or AD for short. What happens is the damaged spinal cord can't properly regulate the nervous system anymore. So a negative stimulus, something the diver can't even feel, it triggers this out-of-control response from the body. The result? A massive, and I mean massive, sudden spike in blood pressure, which can increase the risk of a stroke by 300, even 400%. This is a true life-or-death medical emergency.
And here's the truly scary part about AD. The triggers are shockingly ordinary. You'd think it would be something huge, right? But no. As you can see here, it can be something as simple as a full bladder, which is pretty common when you're immersed in water, or even just a wetsuit that's a little too snug. The diver feels nothing, but their body launches into a full-blown crisis.
Okay, so that sounds terrifying. But the good news is, if you know about a risk, you can plan for it. There is a clear, well-rehearsed plan. The emergency protocol is immediate and it's decisive. Step 1, get the diver sitting straight up. You want to use gravity to help lower their blood pressure. Step 2, immediately get rid of any tight gear. And yes, that means being ready to cut a wetsuit right off if you have to. All of this is happening while you're constantly checking blood pressure and, this is the most important part, finding and removing whatever caused the problem in the first place. And believe it or not, AD is just the tip of the iceberg. The body's entire regulatory system is compromised. The internal thermostat? It's basically broken, making hypothermia a constant threat. Bones can become brittle from osteoporosis, and because there's no sensation, a serious injury, like a broken bone, could happen and the diver would have no idea. Every single system needs outside support and monitoring.
So with all of these, life-threatening risks, you got to be asking, how on earth is this even possible? Well, the answer is in the blueprint for the dive. It's this incredibly detailed, personalized plan that thinks about every single one of those challenges and builds a whole system of support around the diver. And the first thing you have to understand is that this blueprint, it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. Not at all. The plan for a diver with a lower injury, say in the lumbar region, who might have full use of their arms, is going to look completely different from the plan for a diver with a high cervical injury, who might need total support for moving, breathing, everything. The blueprint has to be custom-built for that specific person.
Yeah, this is one place where going it alone is absolutely not an option. A safe dive is all about a highly coordinated team. You've got support divers right there in the water, managing everything from buoyancy and gear to watching for medical signs. You have a surface team helping with getting in and out of the water. And then you have a dive leader who's overseeing the entire operation. Every single person has a vital job. And the last piece of this puzzle, it's all about the gear, the technology, and each piece of equipment is a clever solution to a specific problem. You can't use hand signals? No problem. A full-face mask with a built-in communication unit lets you actually talk to your team. Having a hard time controlling your body position? Ankle floats can help prevent your legs from dragging. And you'll notice at the bottom of the list, trauma shears. They're in every kit, ready for that AD emergency we talked about. It's just human ingenuity at its finest.
So when you take that personalized plan, you add in the expert team, and you bring in the right technology, what you get is something truly extraordinary. You get to move beyond what seems impossible. You get to completely redefine what a person is capable of.
And this is so important. The goal here isn't just to give someone a single, experienced dive. It's about real empowerment. The aim is for the diver to actually earn a formal certification from an organization like the Handicapped Scuba Association. And it's a certification that honestly and realistically reflects what they can and cannot do on their own.
And that's where these different certification levels come in. A level A diver, for example, can be a fully independent buddy. They can handle their own problems and even help someone else. A level C diver, on the other hand, will always need direct professional help for core skills like managing their buoyancy. This tiered system is brilliant because it ensures safety is always the top priority, and it makes the certification a real, meaningful measure of their ability.
And in the end, as Dr. Downs puts it, this is about way more than just one person's experience. That reward is shared by everyone, for the support divers, for the instructors. Helping someone rediscover a world of weightless freedom is, hands down, one of the most profound and rewarding things they will ever do in the water.
Which of course leaves us with a pretty big question. We've just seen how this amazing combination of deep medical knowledge, incredible teamwork, and adaptive technology can make something that seems impossible totally possible. And it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we can create a blueprint for this, what other impossible barriers in our world are just sitting there, waiting for the right team and the right plan to come along and tear them down?